don't.
I hate myself.
Good advice.
I hate myself for saying that.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Down Once More. Matt here, and I'm joined once again by Brad, and we are going to do a build your own Broadway show draft, which I'll explain more right when we get into it. But something a little bit different this week. First off, Brad, how's it going? Any fun stories to share?
Yeah, first of all, real good day. I fixed my air conditioner. I thought I was going to have to replace a capacitor, but really the motor had just seized up, so I just had to fix that. And we are good to go
That's
before
an
next
expensive
week's
thing.
upcoming heat wave, because that would suck. And so
That would suck.
yeah, I was going to hire someone to come out and do it. And then they said, yeah, we can get there by July 11th. And I said, YouTube, here I come. So I was able to fix that myself for free. That was awesome. And no, I'm just getting back under my feet. I took a trip over the holiday weekend a couple weeks ago with some friends to Yosemite National Park, which was awesome. And we went through hiking along the North Rim. So El Capitan is more than just an operating system for Mac. It is also a fantastic rock formation, the largest piece of granite in the world, single piece of granite in the world. Yeah,
Nice.
So we camped up in the backwoods for a few nights, and that was great. While we were there, I totally just jacked my meniscus. So that was not a lot of fun climbing down a mountainside with a knee that was threatening to give out with every step. But
Yes,
you know
less
what?
than ideal.
I prevailed, and we had on our way back, we dropped one of the guys off at the airport. We flew into Oakland, and we had like 6 hours to kill before our flight. And so we found this nice area along the bay called Jack London Square, which was awesome. Jack London, of course, Matt, you're cultured. You know who Jack London is. Why don't you give us a little
He wrote
word about
White
who
Fang.
He wrote White Fang and Call of the Wild, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's from the Bay Area. And in this Jack London Square, there is this saloon. It's called Johnny Heinhold's First and Last Resort. And it is a 140-year-old saloon that was built out of the
sweet.
wooden planks of an old whaling ship. You walk into
That's
this place.
Cool.
It was amazing. The floor was at like a 15-degree pitch because in the earthquake of 1906, the piles underneath had gotten destroyed and they just never fixed it. Right? So this place has been around forever. Like that's literally where Jack London bought his first boat. The owner, Johnny Heinold, gave Jack London tuition money to go to college. Like incredibly history in this place. All sorts of sailors on their way to the World Wars came through there. Like incredible. Pops might have drank there. Probably not. I don't know if he was that cultured to go to such a fancy, not a fancy, but such a historic saloon. But it was awesome. And we're heading back to the car. We were just talking about like, you know what? People say Oakland's a real piece of shit. And we've had a wonderful time. We're going to tell people that Oakland's actually not too bad of a place. And, they treated us well. Get back to the car. And my buddy's like, we might have spoken too soon. And our window had gotten bashed in. And we had 4 backpacks stolen. And 3 personal backpacks and 1 hiking backpack that had all of my buddies' camping stuff. So it was all like all pretty replaceable stuff. I had like 2 books and like the souvenirs I bought the kids. So I lost almost nothing. They took a power bank from me. Another buddy, he didn't lose too much except for, he lost all his camping stuff. Which that sucked, but he was borrowing my extra hiking backpack. So, and I got that bag for $15 at Goodwill. So, not too bad. The real hit came when the third guy who had driven us to the airport realized that his keys were in the backpack that was stolen. And that we would have to take a taxi from the airport all the way across the city at 3 a.m. once we landed in Chicago. So That
Nice.
sucks.
How expensive was that taxi ride?
Oh, it's like $120.
And frozen.
Hmm?
So I have no idea what you said. You were frozen, so I missed
I
what
said
you
it was
said.
about
But the
$120.
listeners got it.
$120. $120. We split.
Could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
Yeah. I
So that
was
was a lot of
worried
fun.
your laptop or something was in it.
Oh, man.
Pop's always like, did Brad tell you about their stuff getting stolen?
Theft.
Do you know what was stolen? And he said that like you had either the kids or something around or something interrupted, so he didn't get to hear what all was stolen.
Yeah, but not much. So
that's
better
good.
than my car keys. And like nobody had their wallets in there, so we didn't have any of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was fine, but Oakland, man, you piece of shit.
Sucks.
Yeah.
But
yeah. How about you? Anything going on with your life?
No, I went to my first AEW wrestling show last night. And so that was been to a couple WWE ones before, but that was a good time. Smaller venue. A lot more really vocal quick crowd.
You you froze, and I'm just imagining that you said orgy. And so you came right back in where you were just like smaller venue, more vocal crowd.
yeah. That's how you like
so
your
where you want to
orgies
start
with the vocal crowd.
Yeah.
And you do want it to be a more intimate venue. You don't want
to start big.
No.
Yeah.
No, you got nowhere to go from there.
It was your first what?
AEW show, wrestling show, professional wrestling, the alternative to WWE. So I've been to a couple WWE shows. This is the first time AEW's been close. I actually like AEW, like their pay-per-view, and the wrestling's actually better, more entertaining. So it was a really good show, a lot of fun. Went to the Salty Dog before, which is like a sports bar and grill close there. Delicious food.
Okay.
Nice little like dive bar vibes, but it was good. It was a good time. Get away, kick off the weekend. I am currently drinking a Trader Jose. So Trader Joe's is getting into the Mexican lager game, and so it's fine. There's nothing crazy, earth-shattering.
Look, Trader Giuseppe's
does the trick, and it's cheap.
Yeah, they hardly do me wrong as a store. They have these cold brew packets. So they're like little tea bags. There's 4 that come in a pouch, and you put 2 in a whole bunch. And that's some of the best cold brew I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Love it.
They had a coconut coffee from Concentrate, and I got that. Ooh. It was pretty solid, too. I got their frozen, like, garlic noodles before, and those were delicious. And so I also had, birthday's coming up. Got some people that still like doing like birthday, like they have you put together like an Amazon wish list and they like to buy stuff for there, which is fine. I'm not opposed to that. But I was looking and I saw those Listerine, the strips that you like put on your tongue and they dissolved. And I'm like, I haven't had these in forever. I used to love those as a kid. Just go through a whole fucking pack. And I put them on my list and I actually got them. And so I bust that packet open. Just as good as I remembered. I'm gonna have the freshest of breath now.
Well, don't use one of those before you go down once more.
I will not.
I hate myself.
Good advice.
I hate myself for saying that.
I'm proud of you. I'm finally wearing you down. Okay, so the draft. What we're doing this week is we are essentially doing a build your own Broadway show. So what we're doing is we're each going to draft a male lead, a male supporting, a female lead, female supporting, a music style for this production, and then like time period, genre, like inspiration, like what is the setup for the show, and then 2 miscellaneous picks. So I have no idea. I didn't count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 rounds. Miscellaneous can be whatever. It can be other cast members that you want. It can be a certain set element, something else you want to throw in there. whatever you can do with that. So if you take someone, they're off the board. Or if you take any element, it's off the board. The other person can't take it. So you can go in any order you want if you want to make sure you get your picks. And then for the cast, pick a performance that is why you pick that person. So if you're like Hugh Jackman's performance in Les Mis, specifically in Bring Him Home or whatever, that's who I'm picking. That's what we're saying. We tie some things. People can go look at some performances too, especially if there's more random, not quite as well known people. But that's what we're going with. We'll see how it goes. It could be a little bit of a clusterfuck, but should be fun. So I don't want to just give you the first pick on this one because it could be more secure. So I don't know a good way to do it.
I do. Matt, you're the firstborn, or you're of the two of us. You're the eldest. You're number one. I'm number two. Siri will decide.
Okay.
Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 2.
Okay, there you go.
Fair is fair.
You get the first pick. Fair is fair.
All right. I could be a real doucher right now. And I could take Jeremy Jordan. The thing is, I don't need him to make the best Broadway musical, but what I do need is I need the actress that is going to anchor my show, and that is going to be Renee Elise Goldsberry.
Damn. Okay, so that's your lead.
I could say Angelica, but because she's incredible in Hamilton, but I want the spunk and the humanity and the depth of her performance as Mimi in Rent.
Okay.
I mean, I'm thinking especially of her singing, Goodbye Love. Like, oh, rip your heart out. Renee Elise Goldsberry.
So good.
She is leading my show.
Okay.
She's incredible. I love her.
She's who I had pegged for my female lead. So that was a good choice by you. Yes. I am going to go with my male lead.
I wonder who this could be.
It's future not guest who you think it's going to be.
Really?
It is actually Aaron Fiat. So I have been recently, I think Aaron Fiat's, and it'll make more sense when we get into the other things. His emotion that he can get through and kind of anger, he can channel a darker side than I feel like Jeremy Jordan can, and that's what I need in my
where are you going with this?
Male lead of this. And so specifically his performance, we got two in mind, but the main one that made me pick him is his performance as Christian in Moulin Rouge on Broadway, and specifically a part of El Tango de Roxanne, where he is just, it's fantastic. I put it in one of the past episodes and got a copyright strike for it, but if you have not seen it, you need to check it out. He is fantastic. I'm also really into the musical Next to Normal right now, and his performance in that as Gabe, the dead son, is so good. He's got a lot of really great numbers in there. So Aaron Fiat is my male lead that I'm picking. So we're back to you.
Okay. Well, love it. I'm going to go with my male lead though, then.
Okay.
And now I'm a little torn. I was going to leave Jeremy Jordan open for you, but you might want him as a supporting actor.
Oh.
And the person that I was just banking on being able to get might not be as good for this role, so I'll go with Jeremy Jordan. And I'm going to go with his performance, though I don't love the musical from the last 5 years. I do think that he plays a conflicted lover pretty well.
Okay.
And
That
so Jeremy Jordan is going to be the bright star next to Renee, and he's my male lead.
okay. All right. I didn't think you were gonna pick Jeremy Jordan because of how much shit you give me. I thought I would be
Oh,
able
he's
to. I
unbelievably
got
talented.
greedy, and I thought I would be able to get him in a later round. Um,
I don't think
I
so.
am going to go with my female lead, and I am going to go with um. So that doesn't have as much Broadway experience, but I'm going to go with Renee Rapp.
Oh, okay.
Just fantastic vocalist. Specifically, the main performance that makes her stand out to me is World Burn from Mean Girls the musical. It's Regina George in there.
Mm-hmm.
Just her range is fantastic, and there's so many just like raw strip back recordings of her from doing Broadway songs on YouTube. You can find that she's done a bunch on there too, and she's just insanely talented. And so that's who I'm going with for my female lead.
Okay. Okay. Um, I'm gonna go male supporting now, and give me Leslie Odom Jr.
Okay.
Um, he has. I
Good
mean,
pick.
obviously, his
What?
performance as Aaron Burr. Um, and
Mm-hmm.
he's a killer vocalist. And I really thought that he ran away with that show. I mean, there's unbelievable uh, performances all throughout. I mean, Philippa Sue's incredible as Eliza. Renee Elise Goldsberry, fantastic as Angelica. Lynn friggin' wrote the whole thing, but Aaron Burr and Leslie Odom Jr.'s portrayal of him was for me the most compelling thing about that original cast recording. And so I know he can do what I'm going to ask him to do. He is my male supporting. Leslie, you're the best.
Okay. I see because of who you've got. It's actually kind of causing me to. I had two concepts in my mind. I think I'm kind of switching gears now, because my male lead and male supporting will have. They're both kind of side by side with it. I'm going to go with for my male supporting Antonio Cipriano,
Okay.
who isn't unless you're deep into Broadway, you might not be as familiar with him, but he was in why am I blinking? Jagged Little Pill, the musical of Alanis Morissette. He's in there on Broadway. He's been doing a lot of other things. He was in the Michael Mott musical with Jeremy Jordan, the In the Light, that they just had a workshop recently. He's been part of that project. He was
Hmm.
part of their like concept album that they did, the sample album, and he was part of this workshop that they just put on in New York a few weeks ago. Insanely talented, and there are a ton of compilations. Him and Renee Rapp do a lot of stuff together,
Hmm.
and during COVID, they did a lot of performances on YouTube. And at like Studio 54, they've done a lot of Broadway showings together. And he is fantastic. The specific performance from him that I'm picking is in it's going to be from Wait for Me from Hadestown. They did with Renee Rapp. And so it's fantastic those two together. But that is my pick for my male supporting.
You know what? I'm going to. I still don't know quite the direction I want to go with my female supporting, so I am going to take one of my miscellany,
Okay.
and I'm going to go with Josh Gad
Ooh.
as a pretty minor role, but I want there to be some levity in my show,
Okay.
and I think he can do it.
Okay.
And I mean, he could be. We could be. I could be thinking Elder Cunningham. He's great. Book of Mormon, unbelievable, right? He's
Yeah.
phenomenal as Olaf, but I'm actually thinking LeFou.
Ooh.
his LeFou from Beauty and the Beast.
Mm-hmm.
I need a character that people are comedically against in my musical.
That's fair. I like that.
And so I want Josh Gad. I think he has
Okay.
the chops to do it.
I'm gonna also go a miscellaneous with it, and I am going to go with Jordan Fisher. So he's an insanely
Yeah.
talented actor. He also is an insanely talented vocalist. He was just in Hadestown on Broadway, and his rendition of "Wait for Me" is really great. But the performance I'm picking that really stood out to me and really cemented him as a fantastic performer was from as Evan Hansen, and his performance of "For Forever" is fantastic. It's he did it on the Rosie O'Donnell show, and during COVID, and he did a performance, so it's like over Zoom, but it's still fantastic, and his vocals are just so amazing. Such a talented performer, so that's first miscellaneous for me.
Okay. Um. You know what? I'm just gonna go with my gut on my female supporting. I can go Samantha Banks.
Banks or Barks?
Barks.
Isn't it Barks?
No, it's
I could
Banks.
be.
It's Banks.
Is it
Samantha Banks
from Les Mis?
Yeah, from Les Mis, right?
I think it's Barks.
Could be Barks. It's Barks.
It's Barks.
Yeah, Barks. Samantha Barks. I want Samantha Barks. Les Mis. We'll edit that.
Okay.
The R looks like an N.
It does.
I just think she's really good. And I haven't seen as many musicals as you, so I don't want to. I mean, there's people that I know are incredible. I like
Yeah.
Sutton Foster or Audra McDonald, but I'm going to go with what I know, and I know Samantha Barks. I don't know her name very well. As my female supporting, Samantha Barks.
Okay. Well, not to just be mirroring what you're doing, I'm also going to go female supporting. And I'm going with Jasmine Cephas Jones. And specifically, her performance in
And
Say No to
Peggy.
This in Hamilton is just, yes. But Peggy is not the role that stood out to me. So just
Shocking.
her performance to Say No to This is so good. And I think she's so talented, and I think her voice complements. She'll work well with the cast that I am building here.
So I want to be clear. It wasn't her saying, "Daddy said not to go downtown," that got you to say that's my female supporting actress. Okay.
No,
Well,
I like my women to go downtown, so that would be a knock against her. But no.
Why don't you make a fellatio joke and then put your mouth on a bottle, a long neck bottle?
I'm gonna take a lap.
Yeah, let's not be that. Let's not be that podcast, Matt.
Fair.
I am going
I apologize.
to
Regret my actions.
I am going to hit you with my second miscellaneous.
Okay.
Not because I think you're going to steal it, but because I think it sets up some of my other picks later. I am going to have as my miscellaneous a music and score written by John Batiste and Chris Tilly. Now, not necessarily Broadway songwriters specifically or, primarily. However, John Batiste, I think, is one of the most talented musicians. I mean, in the world in music right now. I mean, he's incredible. What that man can do on a piano is unbelievable. I think he's a MacArthur Genius Award winner. He's, I think, faculty at Juilliard. And Chris Thiele is definitely a MacArthur Genius Award winner. And I'm going to add a third, actually, writer as well. He's one of the greatest bluegrass mandolin players ever. And then I'm going to add third, Rhiannon Giddens, also MacArthur Genius Award winner. She is a great banjo player, a great vocalist. She also has experience. She was trained as an opera singer and has written and produced an opera. So she has experience in the theatrical world. I think that she could be kind of the glue between the two, and they could write an unbelievably compelling musical.
Oh, see, that's a good pick. I like it. Writing team, a little bit different there. No, I like it. That's smart. If I knew more writing teams, I would follow suit. But for what I'm building, like the ones that May wants to jump out, like Pasek and Paul, and they're not. That's not the type of realm I want to this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take my music style for this, and this is gonna be bad. And you will probably correct me with all your music knowledge. And this is just because I could not think of what it is, but I want it to be classical epic. Like think Phantom of the Opera meets In the Light. Like are the type of like period, like big sweeping numbers, bold numbers, not opera. But I don't like not pop. Like I'm struggling to describe this.
You literally named one of the most famous rock operas of all time and then said, not opera.
Well,
you want a rock opera is what you want a rock
I want a
pop
rock opera is essentially
you want
what
a
I
rock
want.
opera. That's just say it.
Yeah.
Just say like a rock opera if Elton John did it. Like that's what you want.
Yeah. 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 So rock opera.
Mm-hmm.
It would have changed. If I would have gotten different picks, it would have been different. But
that's fantastic.
Yes.
I love me a good rock opera. I would love to hear a rock opera version of Les Mis.
That would be great.
That'd be dope.
I'd be in support of
that. I'll give my musical style too, and this really comes from the songwriters that I chose. And it's a new genre of music the world is not necessarily that the world is yet to see, but I'm calling it jazzgrass. Because John Batiste is a jazz pianist, a jazz musician, and he does, blues, soul, pop inspired stuff, but jazz, he's unbelievable. Rhiannon Giddens and Chris Thiele are both bluegrass musicians, but Chris Thiele's done extensive work with like classical artists like Yo-Yo Ma. You fuse that together, you put it together, and I think you have something unbelievably special and something that would be like both folksy and like complex and compelling, that would really drive the tone of the musical that I'm building. And I'm excited just talking about it. I think it'd be phenomenal.
Okay. Interesting. I'm intrigued. I want to see this now. And you still... So this is the second to last round. So I have miscellaneous and then the like theme, time period, genre, that type of thing left. And you just have your like theme setup. I am going to go miscellaneous again. And I am going to go... I'm going to go with Idina Menzel, actually.
Oh. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Do another person, Dina Menzel.
Just adding to her already storied career.
Yeah, she needs this musical to really round it out.
People don't
and I
really
mean,
know her.
yeah, no, she's fairly under the radar, but specifically, like, just, I mean, her performance in Defying Gravity, especially the notes in the end, like, you just can't get better than that. She has so many great performances, but Defying Gravity is just.
But think about
peak.
like her talent to just belt it out with that incredible like just power ballad like Defying Gravity, but also do the weird quirky acting stuff required of her for like the what's the Cow Jumped Over the Moon song in Rent.
I forget what it's called, but yeah,
But like
it's her performance.
She could do both equally well. Great
Mm-hmm.
range, great talent. Really good choice. Well,
Yeah.
Matt, I'm really pleased. I think my musical has come together really well. And so for my last pick, I'm going to paint you a picture. I'm going to give you the elevator pitch of what this musical is going to be.
I like it.
This
Hit me
is
with it.
a Reconstruction era romance. Specifically, right at the end of military Reconstruction, it's going to start during Reconstruction, going into the kind of start and formation of the Jim Crow South. Jeremy Jordan is a carpetbagger. He's a Northerner that moves down to the South to try to, bring about change, fix the kind of racist bullshit that's going on there. Falls in love with Renee Elise Goldsberry. Not quite forbidden love yet. But when Reconstruction ends, the culture not only turns on Jeremy Jordan as a Northerner intruding in the South, but also on their interracial love. Now, Leslie Odom is the protective older brother of Renee Elise Goldsberry's character, who doesn't trust white folks, because why would you? Samantha Barks is... Honestly, I just want her to be Eponine again, right? Like, just that kind of conflicted, why won't he choose me?
Thing.
Just the same thing. Honestly, that's it. And Josh Gad, I need him to both embody the hate, the racist hate and ignorance of postbellum South, but also portray, like, show how stupid and just unbelievably idiotic that mindset is. So it gives a little levity. It's a romance. It's got that, that southern bluegrassy vibe to match the setting with the the elegance that John Batiste brings in. I think I'm going to start writing it tonight.
Perfect. The reason I was laughing, because I had two directions I was going with it, and where my cast didn't flesh out exactly as I wanted. I was going, and this is what my pick is because of how it went, is a historical epic set in the Civil War. So,
well, your cock has been blocked, my friend.
Yep. It's different enough. Mine is not a romance. Mine is a drama, primarily focusing on just the Jim Crow South. Not exactly this, but do you think they're similar enough?
Military construction into. I think they're pretty damn close, but I'll allow it. I just want the world to know.
No, my backup one will work, but I just think it is funny that that's where both of our heads went. My cast will still work. We'll just forget some of the racist thing. My other
during the Civil War.
Yeah, it's gonna be brothers fighting against brothers.
Brothers fighting against brothers, like literal blood brothers fighting against blood brothers.
Yeah, different sides.
Okay.
But
okay,
what I will go with instead is the Three Musketeers the musical?
Nope.
Why
Go back to the
no?
other one. No. I just Three Musketeers. Who are your Musketeers?
So Antonio. So this is where it was switched from who's lead.
Gosh.
Antonio Cipriano would be D'Artagnan, the young, cocky.
He's not even one of the
and
three.
He is the primary character in the Three Musketeers.
But he is not one of the three. I'm just saying, so you still need to fill out the other three.
Well, yeah, I can build it out. I had Aaron Tveit as Athos. And then I had Renee Rapp was Constance. Jasmine Cephas Jones was going to be Milady. And then Jeremy Jordan was going to be
you don't have him.
Aramis. Well, I know I'm telling you what my original. Okay, I don't need to come up with all of them. I just need what I have. The rest of the cast will come together. So Jordan Fisher. See, I have to switch up my casting because of who I got. Jordan Fisher would actually be D'Artagnan. We got a miscellaneous. Antonio Cipriano would be Aramis. He's a young, cocky ladies' man. Aaron Tveit would still be Athos. Renee Rapp would be Constance. Jasmine Cephas Jones. No, I'm gonna put Idina Menzel. See, now I just have too many powerful female women. See, I was going with the Civil War theme at the end, then you took
Go with
it.
the Civil War theme with your very white cast. Well, I guess no. Never mind. I take that.
Jordan Fisher and Jasmine Cephas Jones are not completely white, but primarily in the Civil War, it was the white people fighting. So,
have you ever seen Glory?
Well, that's Jordan Fisher was going to be part of the 54th Massachusetts Infantry Regiment. So,
have you?
Jordan Fisher's pretty light skinned, but it doesn't matter.
Did you chat GPT this?
No.
I just have a hard time believing that you have the 54th Massachusetts Infantry just right off the rip.
That research I had done because I knew I was going to pull in the glory elements. I want
the listeners to write in and say if they think that you used AI to help.
Here, glory.
Oh God! Kevin James is in that. Did I just see that right?
Kevin Shaw wrote the screenplay. Jarre.
Oh. that would have been awesome.
That would have been great.
So there's also that time period where Southern slave owners could send slaves to fight in their place to avoid the draft.
That is true. So I didn't have as many of the details fleshed out as you. But my Aaron Tveit was going to be a Southerner, conflicted one. That's why I need the kind of shitty qualities pulled in him, the hateable lead. And if I had Jeremy Jordan was going to be on the other side. So they were going to be the brothers. That would have that conflict. So that's what I got. Antonio Cipriano.
Heartbreaking.
Younger. Renee Rapp, female lead, daughter of Aaron Tveit, who is more sympathetic with the slaves than the Northerner, was my thought process with that. And then Jordan Fisher is going to be part of the 54th, fighting over there. And Jasmine Cephas Jones, his sister, over there. And then Idina Menzel, Aaron Tvieit's wife. So that's where I was going with that. And so, yeah, yours is much more fleshed out. So you put together a fantastic show and a fantastic pitch. I would fund yours over mine, but I still want to see mine because I don't know.
I think that
if I could refine my pitch.
Yeah, I think you need to refine your pitch and tighten the geography and the webs of relationship, because think about all the just the back and forth. I mean, you have people fighting on 4 fronts of the war, but also people on the home front. That's just a staging set nightmare. So I
That's
think that
true.
you need to kind of pull some of those threads a little bit tighter, get that a little bit more brought in. And this is why I had Josh Gad in my show as just like
Some levity.
some levity and just like he's clearly wrong. I don't know that in just like our America right now, I don't know if it'd be tough to portray a sympathetic Southerner without either making it super like uh yeah, there were good people on both sides kind of thing, uh or without just like importing all the like really messy race relations of today into it. It'd be a really hard thing to navigate. Not saying it's a bad one. I mean, there was plenty of Southerners who viewed their participation in the war as protecting their land from Northern
Mm-hmm.
invasion, and there were plenty of Northerners who didn't give a rip about the slaves. They just wanted to preserve the Union. So it's
Yeah.
complicated, but I think that a lot of the narratives around race relations in America today make a sympathetic Confederate a hard thing to pull off.
To be clear, he was not going to be sympathetic.
Oh, he's the bad guy.
He's the
He
bad
was
guy.
conflicted. Okay.
He's
Okay.
yeah. Well, I don't think I ever said he was conflicted. Maybe I did originally when I was refining, depending on who I got. But he will be staunch, set down, a jackass, not sympathetic. Because yes, that I would. I'm not gonna make a sympathetic character in that time. I'm not saying there weren't like historically there was. I don't know. I need to do more research. I remember all the big thing with us. Everyone was always still big on Stonewall Jackson. He's Confederate.
Well, our
But
father's middle name is given after Robert Edward Lee, David Lee
no.
Hansen. We took. I just looked at our portfolio from whatever year we went to DC, and we took a picture and put it in our portfolio with a statue of Robert E. Lee. The statue's probably gone, so maybe that's a good a good picture to hang on to. But it's one of those where it's just like, and like you remember Grandpa Hansen like very openly called himself a Southern sympathizer. He had that
I don't remember
Confederate like sword hanging up in the kitchen. Like he had the Confederate sword letter opener. He subscribed to the Civil War magazine that was like basically full on Lost Cause. Like we have we have a bad track record in our family of not seeing clearly the trying to both sides of the Civil War. So that's kind of my instinct to be like, well, let's stay away from that.
Fair. That's fair. I still think if my draft picks would have gone better, the Three Musketeers musical would have been fantastic.
Yeah, just another
Everyone loves
adaptation.
a big period drama. There's a lot of action.
Just follow the Bridgerton.
What?
I just think there's so many like adaptations these days. We've talked about this.
No.
There's so much that just like we're redoing. Because I thought about like, I would love to see. I mean, there's some books that I would love to see turned into musicals, but at the end of the day, I want new stories being told.
That's fair.
That's what. And I also think the Three Musketeers. There's been so many iterations of the Three Musketeers,
But never a musical version. Unless the Disney one with Donald Duck and Mickey was a musical.
Well, I'm about to Google this. Hold on.
Okay.
Three Musketeers musical. Would it be? I think like a modern retelling would be your best bet. The Three Musketeers musical. Mm-hmm. Lyrics by Clifford Gray and P.G. Wodehouse, and music by Rudolf Frimmel. It's based on the 1844 novel. Productions: 1928 Broadway, 1930 West End, 1984 Broadway revival.
Interesting.
The poor but virile D'Artagnan.
Interesting. I'll have to check it out because it doesn't have the cast that I have, but be interesting. I also thought about Man in the Iron Mask because I love a good revenge story too. Mm-hmm. And that, I don't know, for some reason I was in that time period mindset. When
I think a Frankenstein musical could be really good. Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm. There was one.
Oh.
Nope.
Was it?
Nope. Jekyll and Hyde. I say
it's very different.
I would say it is extremely different. But for some reason in my head, Jekyll and Hyde.
Frankenstein, a new musical. Wow. Have you read Frankenstein?
Nope. You told me to read.
It's an incredible book. It's
Dracula.
Dracula is also great.
Mm-hmm.
It premiered in New York City on November 1st, 2007 in the Off-Broadway Theater. Apparently, didn't go over too well. It was mixed. National press received it positively, while the New York papers thought it sucked.
Interesting. They're doing Smash the Musical, which is based on the TV show Smash, which I loved, which is weird because the TV show Smash is based on putting together a musical about Marilyn Monroe. So they're doing a musical about putting together the musical, I think.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Should be interesting. I love the show Smash. Probably my favorite musical series. That and then Schmigadoon, which was canceled, sadly, which starred Aaron Fiat and was really good on Apple TV Plus. If you haven't watched it, you should check it out.
Yeah. As we wrap up, I think a good way to end our draft is to ask the question, if you could steal or share one element of the other person's play, what would it be?
I would steal Jeremy Jordan from you.
Yeah, sounds about right. Jeremy, come on the podcast.
Yeah.
Have you added him at all?
No.
You haven't
that
reached
seems
out
needy.
Even a little bit.
No, that seems needy.
It's not needy. This is how the world works. This is networking. Let's see. I think probably Idina Menzel, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I think she would fit with what I'm doing.
She would fit.
I think she would be a good, like, her and Josh Gad as a Southern married couple. I think would be a lot of fun, actually.
Could be good.
I think that would be fascinating, putting Idina Menzel side by side with Josh Gad. I love that idea. A little Frozen reunion, but like.
There you go.
I think it'd be really good.
Mm-hmm. All right. Is there anyone that was in like honorable mention picks for you?
I think Andrew Rannells can always be in any musical I write and produce.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ben Platt. I would also put him there.
Mine. I'm going to say some mine before you try to steal them.
You say
Jonathan Groff. Me. Jonathan Groff, and then Carrie Hope Fletcher.
Jonathan Groff is who I almost picked for my male lead, but I don't know if he has the gravitas to do the really heavy reconstruction piece.
Fair. Jonathan Groff he's not nearly to Josh Gad's extent, but he can bring levity to roles too.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
He's got a lot of range.
But he's too. But I want Josh Gad's not attractive or like desirable at all. Jonathan Groff's too pretty.
It's fair. Jonathan Groff
He's
is too
too
pretty.
pretty. He's very pretty.
It's fair. Okay.
I
Well,
I would love to see um because Scarlett Johansson can sing.
can she?
She can. She sings in Sing 1 and 2.
No.
She put out a whole album of Tom Waits covers. Like she can
Interesting.
sing. Yeah. I would love to see. I don't know where she would fit into my musical specifically. I want to see Scarlett Johansson do Broadway. That's an honorable mention for me. That's a crossover I want to see. I want to see
That's
her
what I
go
want to
from
see.
the screen to the stage. I'm sure she can do it. I bet she would be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Scarlett,
I'm
give
sure
it a
she would
shot.
be. There we go. Well,
And Scarlett, come on the podcast.
what? You froze, so I don't know what you said.
I said, Scarlett, come on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Bring Colin too.
Yeah, we'll have a grand old time.
And then Colin can bring Michael and it'll be a good time.
Great time. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week. In 2 weeks, Brad and I will be reviewing Wish, which I watched it this week and took my notes. So
Love it.
you'll have to tune in a few weeks to that episode. Next week will be a mini episode. We'll see what happens then. But thank you all for watching, listening, subscribing, liking, following, sharing, all that fun, happy horseshit. Brad and I, good night, good day, whenever you listen. Don't forget to go down once more. Later. All right, it is Tuesday. It is 6 a.m. I'm currently editing the podcast episode, and I was listening to my pitch. I had a refined pitch pop into my head. And since I edit and I'm the one running the podcast, I decided that I'm going to record this and stick it at the end of the episode. I'll still be fair. I'll keep the episode as it was. I won't interject it. But what I am going to do now, same cast, same basic time period and premise. However, Aaron Viet is going to be a Southern plantation owner who is a coward and a jackass and is going to send Jordan Fisher's character to fight in his place in the Civil War because he doesn't want to fight. Jasmine Cephas Jones plays Jordan Fisher's sister, who is also slave owned by Aaron Viet and Adina Menzel, who's still going to play Aaron Viet's wife. By them, Renee Rapp is going to play Aaron Viet's daughter, who is Northern sympathizer. She falls in line with the Union. She doesn't believe in slavery. She is friends with Jasmine Cephas Jones and has developed a relationship and a bond with Jordan Fisher's character. So when her father sends him to fight for her, causes some issues. Antonio Cipriano's character is not going to be Aaron Fiat's brother. He will play his son, who leaves to go fight for the Union and for freedom instead of aligning with his parents' ideals. So it is going to be a drama centered on this one families, or these two families, whose lives are intertwined, struggles, and everything there. Aaron Fiat is going to be just a completely non-redeemable character. He's going to eventually be killed by his son, Antonio Cipriano. And so, yeah, that's where I'm going. Slightly more refined. Still not as good as Brad's. I'll admit it. He's been burying me on these drafts. But that's your send-off note here. Little after credits clip is my refined pitch. So hopefully you stayed this long. You listened to it. You liked it a little better. I also don't love that both White Guys That Are Minds went to that time period. But it is to show tragicness there, and I feel like there's a lot of heartbreaking stories that could be told from that time period. The shameful aspect of the US's history with the South there, and just everything that people were going through back then. So signing off. I'm going to get back to editing before I have to leave for work. 45 minutes. So maybe I'll get that editing done. But always, don't forget to go down once more. You get a second sign off. You're lucky. Have a great week. Later.